policies over a 3-year rolling framework. So every policy that Dorset Council have got will be reviewed, and because we've changed the logos last year, we've decided to implement the upgrade of the policy and also to incorporate the new logos, which will be appearing on obviously letterheads and so forth, but certainly probably the most important thing is that it'll appear on the town signage. So all the logos, the new logos, which are quite impressive with the animals and the position of Dorset on the Tasmanian map across our logos. So as I say, the people will see that in the town entrance signage, and all the signage on the outdoor is where the municipality will mainly see it, rather than just the council logos on our paperwork that floats around. So it'll be very prominent, and it will tell everyone in passing through our area where they're actually located, and they are in the Dorset municipality, which probably hasn't happened in the past. They've got town signage but don't understand the municipality they're in. Well, the Local Government Association of Tasmania run a community satisfaction survey throughout the state, and Dorset piggybacks on the back of that and gets a larger sample, and that's done on a 2-yearly basis, and we're very happy with the outcome. On most areas we're either with the state average or a little bit above. Probably the areas that, not only from the state but certainly from a local area perspective, planning and regulation area is always an area that doesn't rate very highly, and we've also got some issues around waste management, but which we didn't rate very highly. But in the good part about that, through our Works and Infrastructure Manager Dave Jolly, we're doing a waste management strategy, and that's been done or been basically passed by council, so that'll be implemented over the next 4 or 5 years with new waste management strategies, and we'll certainly probably go for a council of our size. We believe that waste management strategy will put us at the forefront of other municipalities around the state, and probably come at a good time if the community aren't very happy with what's been done in the past. I had a lady from Lade Estate ring and indicated that a large number of students do catch buses in that area, and there's no facility to get out of the weather. So she said, what do we do about it? And I spoke to the Works and Infrastructure Manager, and he indicated that to do a request from the community. So she instigated that, and the petition came in and was accepted by council on Monday evening. And what will happen from there, we'll workshop it, and obviously it's not in this year's budget, but we'll see whether we can have an inclusion in the budget process. I think the councillors were pretty well across the board, in the sense that we believe that area does need something for the students going to school to keep them out of the weather, and we'll take that on board from the next council workshop, and we'd like to see something obviously done before next winter. The Prime Minister came down to Tasmania in late July and indicated that the Tasmanian Forestry Agreement, there was $100 million to be funded through projects throughout the state, and while certainly from a council perspective we certainly believe that some of it certainly didn't hit the mark, but we were pleased that 3 projects in the northeast got up and were funded to some degree. And probably obviously the biggest funding was the Dorset Renewable Industries Group with their forestry hub. They've got 2.8 million, so they're certainly working on acquiring some land and trying to get some sort of businesses operating in the forest sector, whether that's pellet plant or value add in some hardwood sawmill or whatever they decide to do. That's to piggyback their larger project, which is the ethanol project, and my understanding is that once the election's out of the way, they will report to the community on the progress of the ethanol. But the 2.8 million will certainly give them a kick along in getting some small forestry processing activities being done. The other major one was the 700,000 to the Furno Freight, which was to build a dry dock, and my understanding is that that was sort of a 50% funding of what it will require, and once that's the funding comes through and the building of that happens, there'll be an immediate 25 to 30 job impact, and then the value add around the dry dock facilities will probably, hopefully that will create a shipping hub in sense of refurbishment, and we could see 50 or 60 jobs being permanently located in Bridport for that. So that's a very good outcome. And there was also 100,000 given to Dorset Edge, which will be used to study for power upgrades or three-phase power through the Waterhouse area for upgrading the dairy or converting from dry farming to irrigation farming and to dairy, and rather than being beef along the Waterhouse area, moving into intensive dairying. And so that'll understand, and my understanding is that probably the full impact of three-phase power would be a cost of between $1 and $2 million. So if we can get that infrastructure in, maybe then more farmers would look at dairy conversion, which that does put sort of 15 to 20 people in work per farm. So that's also be a fantastic outcome. And my understanding with water, if we get the water there and the upgrade of the power, you know, you could look at 6 or 7 conversions, which could meet 140 or 150 jobs once they're established, and their construction is 30 or 50 jobs every time that they construct from or do a conversion from dry farming into dairy conversion.
Okay.
Probably a couple of things that are coming forward in the community. We've got Sense Tea, and I know there's been some media around Sense Tea because they received $10 million from the TFA funding, and they also received about $3 million from the first $20 million tranche. So to get an understanding of what Sense Tea can do for farmers and agriculture and other industries will be helpful, because there's a lot of unknown around what the Sense Tea project is. So they'll be coming to the northeast. They're working with the Ringarooma irrigation and also the dairy farmers up there, doing some work understanding water flows and so forth, and to be able to feed that process on. So for the community to get an understanding what Sense Tea actually does and what value it can help, we're good, and maybe we can understand why they've got $12 or $13 million being guaranteed from the TFA money. So that'll be interesting to see. And the GM and I met with Terry Moon from the DSTO last week, and so we were trying to investigate the possibility of bringing the ration pack assembly for the armed forces back into Tasmania. At the moment, that assembly for the ration packs done in New Zealand, and we'd like to see that back in Tassie. And obviously, if we can get a component of that back into Dorset, that's what we'll work to. And we'll have some further conversations in the next couple of weeks, and we may have to go to Melbourne to talk to the Army to get a real understanding of what's required, and to see whether we can't get that into northern Tasmania. So that's fairly exciting, and we'll certainly keep the community informed on the progress of that. And and if we can get the northern councils on board through NTD, we intend to probably put a joint submission in to be able to get the ration pack assembly back into Tasmania, and into northern Tasmania, and that would obviously flow on benefits to the Dorset municipality. But we'll certainly keep the community informed as we find out more.
Okay.